Okay, now that you've got the blades off, there's two ways of sharpening them. I used to do the old school way of taking it to a grinding wheel. So you'd have to have a grinding wheel, and then you would hold this against the wheel, and that works really well. But I just don't like having a grinding wheel around because that's the only thing I would ever use it for. So you do need a vise, not necessarily this big a vise, but you need a vise. You're going to position the blade with the angle towards you. And I bought this at Harbor Freight. This is a 4-inch angle grinder. These things are like between 10 and 20 bucks. They are worth their weight in gold. I've used the heck out of this for a lot of things, but I do want to explain a few things to you. So it's going to come with a kit with a bunch of these discs, 4-inch. You've got masonry. You don't want to use that on masonry. This is for metal, aluminum. This is for metal, aluminum. And then this is just for metal. This is a cutoff. This is for cutting. We're not going to use that. We're not going to use that. We're not going to use that. This is a flapper disc. Now flapper disc might work, but it's going to wear out really quick. It's meant for just some light grinding. We're going to actually use the metal 4-inch disc made for grinding. Now you are going to want to use gloves and safety glasses. And I use hearing protection too. These things are kind of loud. Now make sure the general area around you is, because what this does is it throws sparks off. So granted, they're not going to catch, you know, if they land somewhere they could possibly catch fire. So you're going to want to watch it really close when you do it. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate it for just a little bit. It probably wouldn't hurt to have, so you're definitely going to have safety glasses on. You might want goggles, and you might even want a face shield on. These things have been known to break apart. So a face shield would be the ultimate safety. But what I'm going to do is when I turn it on, it's going to get kind of loud. But I'm just going to go back and forth. And what I want to do is create like a 45-degree angle. I'm sure there's some specific angle, but you know, you're just going to have to eyeball it like at a 45-degree angle. You're not going to want to, this is the bottom side, this is the top. So you're going to want to sharpen it from the top side. So a technique you know, just keep it working, just keep it moving back and forth, and it's going to keep you a nice smooth thing. So you don't want to stop in one spot because it could make a groove. And a lot of these grooves are from hitting branches and stuff. Now, the reason you might have to take a lot of metal off here, and that's because those grooves kind of wrap around to the bottom side. Again, you don't want to grind on the bottom side. Leave that flat. What you're going to do is that angle, you're going to bring that angle down until it meets a good portion of the bottom side. And then, see, this has not been sharpened yet. And I have once before kind of taken some of the grass off of this, but these aren't too bad. So again, the key is to keep it moving and don't stop. If it starts to discolor on you, you want the metal to be nice and shiny. If it starts to discolor, that means you're burning the metal, and it's not going to do very good. Definitely want to make sure you got gloves on. This does get hot. Okay, so I've got all mine sharpened. But I thought about this. Maybe somebody doesn't have a vise. So I thought maybe you could come over here to your deck. Now these decks are heavy. Make sure it is supported. You may have somebody holding it for you. I've got mine up against the mower, but I've got a towel here because it will scratch it. These things do want to kind of kick out. So it doesn't make the greatest working stand, but if you position it properly and maybe have somebody hold it, it'll work. But you could install these upside down. See how I've got the top facing me now? And I could tighten that down. And I could use my grinder, just like this. Maybe have a piece of wood here. But, so if you don't have a vise, man, you can still sharpen your blades just by going to get this $20 4-inch die grinder. Now, I don't do the best job sharpening blades. I'm sure there's experts out there that get this just perfect. I live with a lot of trees. I chop everything, rocks, trees up, so mine don't last hardly at all. But the blades have lasted a while. I take about the same amount of material off of both sides. I've never had a problem with vibration or balance or anything. But I don't get this super, you're not going to want to try to get that, don't run your finger across that, you might cut yourself. But so that's a nice trick you could do. If you didn't have a vise, you could sharpen your blades just with your mower deck, but just then be sure to turn them back around.